Hello and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Millie and today I'm going to be talking about the Meth Cosmetics Blueprint palette. Now they have previously released a stack and it seems like what they've been doing is pretty much just putting all their stocks into palettes, but sometimes they've been like adding different shades and just making it a little bit different, more exciting, but this was not the case. This is exactly the same as the stack, which I actually do have the stack. I only have half of it. And I actually put them in round pans. So this is what it looks like in actual round pans versus the split pans that they were released in. I thought this would help me use them a little bit more, which was not really the case, to be honest. But when the stack released, I was really excited about a blue theme. And then I saw that there was a bunch of beiges and I was just not that excited. So from the stack, I did end up not keeping that, but I will do comparison swatches between the shades that I do have from both so we can see. And the way I repressed them, I did not add anything to the formula, so the formula should be exactly the same. All I did was just take them out of the pan and press them, so unless that would affect it, but otherwise we're gonna see if the formula might have changed between when this stack released and this palette. I also do have the two liners which I will swatch for you. There's Steel and Slate, which I will swatch for you as well. I did not end up using it in this video, but I will use it in the future, I promise. These are the two looks I created. So first I'm going to show you some swatches, some swatch comparisons, and then I will try out the palette and create these two looks, and then at the end of the video I will give you some of my first impression thoughts. So here are the swatches of the palette and the two liners. I would say that these two shimmers probably swatch the absolute best, but overall they feel very like thick, and as you can see, like they're metallic but they're not really too metallic and shiny. They definitely give off a little bit more of like a satin vibe. And Slate did swatch a little bit patchy, so I wonder if that one's gonna need some building up. Here's the comparison of the blue shades from the palette and the stack. So the first swatch is always the palette, and then the next swatch is the stack. So definitely you can see Deadbolt is lighter in the stack, and I would also say Skylight is lighter in the palette. And then between these two, they're basically the same. They even felt the same in texture. However, Dim Out feels almost gritty in the palette versus definitely much smoother in the stack, which could be from repressing, but I don't ever remember this one feeling gritty at all. So I don't think that's the case. But they're very, very similar. I would say maybe this one's just a little bit more navy. I don't know. Really curious to see how this goes, to be honest. So I'm gonna prime my lid with the Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer. I've been using this in other videos with my other Melt Cosmetics palettes, and it seems like their formula really works well, so I'm gonna just keep using it. Starting off in the crease with Hammered. And wow, that is so pigmented. I feel like it looks less warm now that I put it on. And I'm just blending that out. I'm not really winging this one out on the edge there. Maybe just a little bit. But basically I want this to be like a blue smoky eye almost. So next I'm going to pack on Dim Out all over the lid. And just, I'm tapping it on, and I will also be just kind of tapping it into the crease. It's packing on pretty nicely. Next I'm going to go in with a smaller brush and start blending that crease. And I feel like it's like turning black and the blue is coming off. So I am gonna pick up some blue, and then I'm taking Hammered again. I'm just gonna layer it above. And then blend it out with a bigger brush. This is gonna be super smoky. I feel like this brown now looks basically like a grayish black, which I think is what happens when you mix this sort of blue with a warm tone brown. but we're gonna be putting a shimmer all over the lid. So I am taking the NYX glitter glue and I'm just tapping that all over my lid. I think I put a little bit too much. I'm gonna take King Stud and pack it on. That is beautiful. I feel like that is just making it way nicer. There's so much fallout. I should not have done my foundation first. There is so much fallout. And then I want like a little bit of a highlight in the center. So I'm gonna go in with a Skylight and just pop it on in the center. It's not really coming off of the brush that well, so I'm gonna go in with my finger. And that's definitely layering on a lot better. These shimmers are just so like, I don't know how to put it. They're like thick and they're almost like satin, but like metallic, but they're not super high shine metallic. I don't know what's going on. So now that I have eyeshadow pretty much all over my face over here, we're gonna switch to the other side, to the other eye, and then I'll fix it after. For this look, I wanna do something over here in just the inner portion of my crease, and then I wanna do a blue wing and then put some shimmer on the lid. Probably gonna try to dip into possibly the beige shimmers. So first, again, going in with hammer, just really feeling restricted with not having many mattes. Really could have used another like, probably like a lighter blue matte would have been nice. So I'm just kind of focusing that in here. This is so pigmented. It's kind of sticking down. See right here? Just like that, and then I'm gonna cut the crease, kind of seeing where my hood lands when I relax. Set that a little bit because I'm gonna go in with the NYX glitter primer again, and I don't really like putting it on top of something that hasn't been like set and that could possibly move, like something like these kinds of eyeshadow primers that you don't set, like the ABH and P. Louise and stuff. So I'm gonna take the glitter primer and I'm gonna place it right where I cut the crease. And I'm gonna kind of leave out this area because that is where I'm gonna put the wing. So I'm gonna go in with Beaming. That is actually really beautiful and shiny. I'm not gonna lie, a little bit shocked. Mel Cosmetics isn't exactly known for their shimmers, if you know what I mean. And then underneath, I'm gonna go in with Nailed. That actually is really beautiful too. I'm just kind of feathering out this edge over here, making sure they're nice and blended together. Next, I'm going in with Dim Out, and we're gonna create that smoky blue liner. So we're gonna just fill in that space that I left empty. Just kind of blend it into the shimmer. And sharpen out that wing a little bit. There we go. End up packing on some more. So the wing kind of has a mind of its own, but that's okay. And we're back. I put on some lashes. These are the Cara Beauty 102 lashes. What's the point of showing this? I don't know. And then I did tightline my lower lash line or lower waterline with the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in Extra Frosting. Kind of wanted to play off of that light beige shade above in the crease. And then on this side I have Melt Cosmetics All Day Everyday Reflect Eyeliner in Montauk. And I just realized I totally forgot to use the cream gel liners in this video. I'm gonna make sure to use them in another video in the future, maybe like a shop my stash or get ready with me or something, because I really do want to dip into those. So let's finish off the lower lash line. Gonna take Dim Out and connect it with the lower lash line so that that liner is nice and connected, and again stopping about halfway there because of that line I have down here. And then on this other eye, also going in with Dim Out, since we don't have that many options, do we? And just connecting it. I think I might try to blend a little bit of that brown on the outer edge. We'll see how that goes though. I picked up the tiniest amount, so let's see how that goes. I just feel like I kind of want to reflect what's happening in the crease down here as well. So, okay, that's kind of working fine. And then just going back in with a Dim Out. And I'm gonna take a clean brush and just blend this outer edge. So I didn't mean to do like this wing, it just happened when I was cleaning off my under eye area. Just gonna go in and kind of blend that, and so there's not really a harsh line there. Added some Dim Out and gonna go back and just make it a little wing. And then for the inner corner highlight, I'm going in with Skylight. Of course, we do have it on the lid, but I feel like it's a different effect because it is over a deep blue shade. So there it is. It's like weird and flaky. It reminds me of the shimmery shadows in the Millennial Pinks palette, which we all know that palette is not good. So these are the two finished looks. So I did use most of the shades. There was about 2 shades, yeah, Hot Wire and Deadbolt, that I did not use. And I feel like the metallics are a little bit inconsistent in this palette. Skylight feels like the same shimmer formula that's in the Millennial Pinks. It just feels weird and it feels like flaky. It's hard to pick up. I know it's supposed to be more of an iridescent shade, but like the formula is just not great. While Deadbolt, Kingstud, Beaming, Hot Wire, and Nailed It feel super smooth. They definitely much more reminiscent of the Beetlejuice collection shimmers, but they're also like, they're metallic, but they're not like super high shine metallic. They're, I would say, a little bit more satin, but with a kick, if that makes any sense. I was pretty pleasantly surprised how well Nailed It and Beaming applied on this lid. So that was a good sign. Obviously, I can't speak on those 4 shades because I did not keep the rest of the stack, so I couldn't compare those or have an idea how those looked. It's just personal preference. I would have preferred more mattes in here than shimmers. I think that's something they could have refined from the stack, but maybe they just felt really confident about the way that the stack was, that they didn't want to do that. That being said, Dim Out and Hammered together, not great. Kind of, you saw, blended into like a blackish gray, which I understand the tone of the kind of neutral, and it's super pigmented. I mean, these are really, really pigmented. I would definitely go in with a lighter hand because otherwise you're gonna be left with a lot of pigment and you're gonna have to do a lot of blending. And so the way that those two layered was not the greatest. I have done like a similar look before with, I think it was a Natasha Denona palette, and it didn't muddy up like that. So I wonder if that just has to do with the formula as well. But I also feel like I saw on their Instagram, I think it was Dana, where she used Hammered and Dim Out together, and they looked like very nice and separate. They didn't look muddy. So I don't know if that was just the way I went about it. I probably wouldn't use them together like this unless I really was going for a super smoky eye. So I will definitely have to keep testing this palette out. This is obviously just the first impressions. I can't really speak on the liners since I didn't use them, but I definitely will be using them in the future video. They're absolutely just gorgeous, and I have tried their previous gels. I have a black one and the brown one, and they're really nice formula, so I'm sure these are going to be great, and I do love the shades. I do own all their eyeshadow palettes as well as a lot of the stacks, and I just feel like the most inconsistency is definitely with the shimmers. It just seems like they cannot get the shimmers right, and I would just love to know like some behind the scenes and any kind of reasoning they might have for that, if it is just a lab thing, and if it was because of the fact that they started selling in Sephora, maybe they had to change manufacturers to keep up with the demand and being able to have enough stock for Sephora, or what else, or if they purposely want these shimmers to be the way that they are. Like, I'm just really curious to know what happened. But I do still love their mattes. I think something that has been consistent with their mattes is that they're very, very, very pigmented. They pack a lot of punch, and for the most part, just texture wise and using them and swatching them, they do feel pretty consistent in that sense. Now, performance wise, I know a lot of people have had different issues with different palettes and different mattes, so I don't know about that. So I'm curious to see what Milk Cosmetics does in 2021, and I'm also curious to see if anything happens to the formula. It seems so far that the shimmers have been getting better, so that's a good sign. So that's everything for this video. Let me know in the comments below if you got this palette and you tried it out, and how do you like it? How would you think of the shimmers? I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribe. There's lots of indie makeup content on my channel. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.